Fencing doesn't have to be ugly, and it doesn't have to be permanent, and it doesn't have to be expensive. You can get a roll of 4-foot tall by 100-foot long garden fencing that will keep out dogs, cats, kids, deer, etc. It will keep those out, and you can get that for probably about $100. Don't get the one on Amazon. I think they offer it for like $50. 100 by, it's like 4 foot tall by 100, so 4 by 100 for $50. Don't get that from Amazon because it's cheap. The wire is really thin and the welds are bad. I know because I got it and I used it and I don't like it. You can get a roll of fencing, 100-foot fencing, which is way more than you could need if you're just starting out, for maybe $100. But what you're going to do then is you're going to be able to plant once and not have to replant. And replanting is just, it's no fun. It's no fun to replant the same thing. Think about your garden like your kids. You're probably going to keep them in the car seat. You're going to insist that they're buckled. You're going to put them on their back to sleep. You're going to have a nursery ready before you bring them home from the hospital. So get your environment ready before you bring your plants in. Make sure there's protection surrounding them. And then posts that you get are going to be, if you get T-posts, they're probably, I think they were $8 at Tractor Supply Company. So let's kind of put this together a little bit. If you made an 8 by 8, so 8 foot on each side square space where you're going to plant stuff or put your containers and you wanted to protect it, you only have to have 4 corner posts, okay? So 4 corner posts times 8, that's only $32. And then you don't even have to get a 100-foot roll of fencing. You could get away with a 50-foot roll of fencing because it's 32 feet, right? 32 feet of fencing that you need, at least. You probably need a little bit more, maybe like 34, just to make sure that you cover the edges and you can overlap. So you're $32 plus, let's say, $50 for only 50 foot of fencing. So you're at like $83. And once you put that fencing in, that's a one-time cost. Unless you decide to add on, which you could add on. But for under $100, you're going to be protecting an 8 by 8 foot section, which is super manageable. Okay? So you're going to start small. You're also going to make beds inside that 8 by 8 foot section that are only 3 foot wide and 3 foot, they could be 3 foot, they could be longer than the 3 foot, but they got to be 3 foot wide for sure because you need some space for your pathways. So remember, you're going to have fencing around the garden section, but then you're going to need pathways to get in there and maintain and harvest and move things and plant things and take things out. So if it's 8 by 8, you want to make beds that are small enough to make the pathway. Plus, the beds need to be narrow enough that your arm can reach. So if you need to, measure your arm as it's reaching towards something and see how long it is. People are usually 1.5 foot to 2 foot long for their arms. So you don't want to make a bed that is 5 foot or 6 foot wide because you can't reach the middle without stepping in there or without putting a pathway in there. And so if you did 8 by 8 with some fencing, made your beds 3 foot wide, that would give you at least a foot of pathway on a couple sides. So you could maintain the beds and have fun doing it. And then don't get all fancy. Don't get fancy. You can start it in grass. And the way that you would start it in grass is you lay cardboard down on the inside of that fencing area and then put soil on top. And you can either scatter seeds in your areas that you want to plant, or you can actually plant plants in there and then make sure there's enough soil to cover the root zone. Water them in and you're done. And what happens is the cardboard smothers the grass. As the grass is dying back, It's providing nutrients to the plant structure that's in there. And the soil is getting roots from the plants. The plants are making roots inside the soil. So it's really, really simple. Cardboard is free. You can get cardboard for free. Soil, if you got a bag of compost, it's about $6. You don't have to get fancy stuff either. You could mix compost and topsoil. And compost and topsoil. So if each bag is $6, so 4 bags total, that's $24 to make a little bit of a raised bed in one of your areas. And so if you're going to put 2 beds in there of 3 foot wide, now you're at about $50. So if we spend about $84 on the fencing for an 8 by 8 foot section, then we spend about $50 on soil. And cardboard's free. Now we just got to secure seeds and plants. And if you were to join a local garden group, I am sure there's lots of people that are willing to give them to you or mail them to you, or you come pick them up. You can join a free cycle group. You can join buy nothing groups. And a lot of times they're going to have free stuff for you to get. So once you've made your garden nursery, again, small, start small. It doesn't have to be 8 by 8. It could be a couple containers. But once you've made that garden nursery, now you're ready to bring your plants home.